and you're just shaking your head.
I think you're making it up.
No. And also the final one, Ghost Dimension. Mika Slot, bear in mind they've all got the same first names for their characters. Yeah. I don't know if you caught on to that.
Oh, no, I thought it was just a coincidence.
No. It's intentional. He was in 3 of the films. He was in the first one, the second one, and marked ones. He's only been in, apart from those 3 films, Death and Return of Superman, where he played an Elder Lantern. Sure.
Right.
It was directed by Max Landis, son of John Landis, who wrote Bright, which none knows is selling me that film.
No.
Except for John Landis. Love John Landis, but Max Landis? No.
Okay.
No. Katie Featherston was in a couple of bits and pieces. Most notably, she was in 1 episode of Big Little Lies.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're not really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Prolific.
They're not very good.
Oh, right, okay. Sure, okay, we'll say that. What I will say is part of me likes that they're not prolific.
Yeah.
Because imagine if they got like David Schwimmer or like Drew Barrymore in there.
No, I think it was very important.
David Schwimmer. Why David Schwimmer, Matt? Why? Of all the people.
That's where your mind goes.
Yeah. Weird.
No, I think it was definitely important, and the way they were sort of trying to sell it as a genuine found footage film, as they did with Blair Witch.
Yeah.
It needed to be unknown actors. But as with the actors in Blair Witch,
Yep.
they obviously weren't going anywhere. They won't.
For any of the actors who we're talking about here, I do apologise for very slanderous words.
I'm throwing all the shade. No, but they weren't.
They were never going to win Oscars, were they? Let's face it, their parents hate them. Come on.
They do all right at reacting to the situations and stuff, but I don't know.
Well,
see now I'm backtracking. You see, you throw me off. I feel bad for throwing shade, and I'm not allowing myself to say that they're terrible.
Well,
they are.
I will say that. So it's quite well known. It's almost a fact. But there wasn't a script for this film.
Was there not?
No,
I didn't know that actually.
There was just suggestions.
Right.
So how would you react to this?
Yeah.
And that was it. So, and for a lot of it, they didn't tell them what was going to happen for some of the bangs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Of course, that isn't like with Blair Witch. They just pointed them in the direction, told them to go that way.
Yeah.
That's how they made it so lifelike. But in this, they told them roughly what was going to happen.
Sure.
And I'm sure they probably caught on as the filming went on. But in all, they really were sleeping in that bed together, and they were doing everything for real. But again, they were suggested to react to certain things. Let's talk a little bit about found footage films, because you've touched on that, and I want to know, what's your favourite found footage film? And if you know it, what's your least favourite?
Well, I have a couple of I have a couple that I really like.
Okay.
And you asked me this before we started recording, and I could have gone down a real rabbit hole thinking, oh yeah, that one, oh yeah, that one, oh yeah, that one, which I did a little bit. But I've chosen 3 to mention.
Okay, go for it.
So there is Troll Hunter.
Yes.
I
yes.
thought I might react like that.
Wow.
That was made in 2010, directed by Andre Øvredal.
Sure.
It's Norwegian.
I love the way you just looked at me as if to go, was that right? I've no idea.
Well,
sure.
Our Norwegian friend, Tonya, will let us know, I'm sure.
You could have turned around to me and said, Stefan Spielbergian, and I would have been like, oh.
Troll Hunter's great. Really, very different in terms of being a monster movie. There's lots of,
Good.
folklore, traditional to Norway about trolls. And so if you know anything about that, it's really good.
That's a really good shout. I'm impressed by that.
Well, I'm glad I remembered that was a thing, and we must watch that again. Another one is from 2012, Chronicle.
I was going to say that.
Aha! Directed by Josh Trank.
Yeah, poor Josh Trank. He did the Fantastic Four remake in 2015. Not good. But yes, Chronicle is a badass film.
Yeah, really, really good.
And Michael B. Jordan's in that.
Yes.
Well, yes.
He is.
Really, really good film.
Yeah, but
Very
that
good
is
film.
excellent. Definitely recommend that. And my final one is Hell House LLC.
Ah, yes, of course. Ah, right. Hell House LLC.
That was made in 2015, directed by Stephen Cognetti.
I thought that film was going to be utter pants, and it
really,
turned out to be really bloody scary.
I mean, you know, it does seem like it's going to be pants, and even the name is Pants. But that was really surprisingly unsettling.
Yes, the ending's bad.
Yeah,
but everything else is amazing.
and there are like 2 sequels, I think, which aren't worth watching.
Yeah, not really. Yeah, they cover the same ground. It's not. Really,
yeah.
But yes, I 100% agree. And do you know what, Freya? Well done.
Thank you
Those
very
are
much.
3 very good found footage films.
Thanks
well done.
very much.
I had also Chronicle.
Mm-hmm.
I then had Wreck 1 and 2.
Ah, yes.
About the fire brigade going into the zombie building.
Yes.
Yes. Then I had Creep 1 and 2.
Ooh.
Mark Duplass.
Yes.
Yes. They're on Netflix. They're very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anything about those films.
No,
but just watch them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know anything about them. Going into watching the first one, I didn't know anything about it. And yeah, really, really brilliant.
Really, really good. And then a film which I'm not sure many people have heard of, Afflicted.
Yes.
Afflicted is found footage about a person who has, I think he's got a brain tumour.
Mm-hmm.
And he's basically goes along to Spain, I think it is, or Italy.
They've gone to Europe as a sort of bucket list trip.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then one night, the guy who's got the brain tumour meets a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Something weird happens. I think he's bitten on the neck.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts showing vampiric traits, should we say?
Yeah.
It's very different to your normal vampire films.
A really excellent take on the vampire genre, definitely.
It is very good. That's called Afflicted.
That was the most pretentious sentence I said today.
Well done.
But yeah, I mean, this is the thing that struck me when I was looking at what my favourite found footage films are. That there are so many better examples than, say, Paranormal Activity.
Well, so good segue. You're full of good segues. Let's talk about the film series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to defend it.
Okay, that's fine. I don't hate it.
Good.
And actually, the first one is probably one of my least favourites.
Okay. Sure. What's your favourite?
Maybe the third one?
Set in the 80s.
Yes.
Good. Okay, fine. That definitely has some of the better scares.
Yeah.
I really like the first, second, third, and bits of the fourth.
Right.
The fifth one is trash.
Yes.
It is utter rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
I admit that with spoilers ahead, throughout the series of the Paranormal Activity, it switches between having ghosts, witches, and demons. I didn't massively like the witches aspect.
No, the kind of
Culty
cult thing, and yeah. Because I think from the beginning it's meant to be a demon, but it is very much a sort of just an entity. Yeah. Sorry,
yes.
Couldn't get that word out, but yeah, it's an entity, unseen. It's kind of referred to as a demon, but we don't know, which is the good thing about the first one.
Yeah,
is the not knowing.
Yeah, exactly, and the same with the second one as well.
Exactly.
The second one, which came out, I think it was only a year after the first one.
Yeah.
It was cash grab. but I still really appreciate it, and I think the story to it is really good.
Yeah. It meshes nicely in with the first one.
It really does. That's one thing about this film series. They really do merge together really well up until maybe the fifth one. And Marked Ones. Marked Ones was a Latino horror, which...
Yeah, it wasn't at all connected with the story of the first films until it was.
It was a bit. It was, but then also it wasn't. I really would strongly recommend that people just ignore Paranormal Activity, the Marked Ones, and Paranormal Activity 5, Ghost Dimensions.
Yeah.
Because, number one, Ghost Dimensions is not scary in the slightest. There's too much special effects in there, and it just doesn't work.
It doesn't have the subtlety that, really makes the first ones good.
Yeah, the subtlety... yes, the subtlety. I will come on to that. But yes, that is what this film is. Paranormal Activity is very subtle.
Yeah, which is why it's so effective.
Yes.
The first time you watch it.
But yes, I will say that there is a seventh film.
Sure.
So it's Paranormal Activity 1, 2, 3, 4,
Tokyo Drift.
and 5. Not Tokyo Drift. Then you have Marked Ones, so that's 5. So it's seventh.
Yeah,
Ghost Dimension. So there's 5 Paranormal Activity standard ones.
Yeah.
Then there's the 6th would be Paranormal Activity Marked Ones. And then you have Paranormal Activity Tokyo Nights.
I just don't believe you.
I will put the picture up. Now, the thing is, Freya, I own it.
Do you? Have you seen it?
No.
Can we watch it now?
No, we can't.
Oh.
Because I brought it going, oh my days, I can't believe this. And it's legitimate. It is legitimately part of the franchise.
Right.
Only problem is, it won't play on our UK player.
Oh, what?
I brought it going, oh, amazing, because I'd heard of it and I was like, this is fantastic, and we'll never be able to watch it. But we'll find the trailer on YouTube and I'll show you that. I like this film series, but also I really don't. I think there's a lot of parts of this film which let down, part of this series which let down film. The continuity is completely all over the place. Like, for instance, in Paranormal Activity, the first one, says this film, when they've got the paranormal investigator in, and he said, this entity feeds on negative energy. Yeah. And Mika turns around and says, well, better not invite your mum round. Which is like, well, actually, if you've seen Paranormal Activity 3, the mum's dead. So shut up, Mika. That's insensitive of you. Jeez, mate. But yes, so this film is all over. These film series is all over the place. Yeah. But again, I recommend it. Watch it in a darkened room.
Yeah, they're good fun.
It is.
I would watch all of them again just because it's good fun to, have jump scares and, I appreciate the effects, particularly in the second and third films. And yeah, I think they're really good. Good fun.
Okay. But do you have a favourite line, though?
Actually, I have a favourite line.
Because guess what?
You don't.
I don't.
You don't. And it's difficult.
There isn't any memorable lines really in this. Well, so I'm going to be amazed what you pull out of this bag.
See, now, it's not the brilliance of the line. It's just the observation on the genre, I suppose, and on the, the state of the world.
Wow.
The digital
Watch
age.
out, people. Freya's got her pretentious hat on.
Yeah, I said the other thing was the most pretentious thing I said today. Well, this is the most pretentious thing I'm going to say today. So my favourite line is probably, things haven't got too serious yet with the Paranormal Activity. And Mika hears Katie screaming, runs to find out what's wrong, and it turns out to be a spider. Mika says, "You're screaming like that over a spider?" And Katie says, "Well, yeah. Did you go run and get the camera first?" And it's like, that is what people do now. like, oh, something bad's happening. Quick, let me turn my camera on. So yeah,